Hey everyone, how's it going today? I'm here to talk to you a little bit about ethics versus morality, as this is election year, and I wanted to talk a little bit about laws and government and how we get them. So, this is a bit of a lecture before that government stuff to help you kind of understand what kind of mindset you need in order to create certain kinds of laws. Now, the way I usually define the mindset that people might have is through what's known as an alignment chart. This was created in the game Dungeons and Dragons, which is a role-playing game that involves dice and a lot of luck, and it's a story-making game. You kind of create the story as you're playing, and when you create your characters, you use an alignment chart to define what kind of character it is. And a lot of writers actually use this alignment chart to sort of define their characters. And as such, you can look at any kind of story and see what kind of area a character falls into to show what kind of person they are. But it also helps you figure out the differences between ethics and morality. Now, what is ethics and morality? Ethics is basically the way you relate in terms of rules and laws. People who are highly ethical follow rules and laws. People who are not ethical don't. So it's all about rules and laws when it comes to ethics. Morality is more about what you feel is right or wrong in your heart. It's a sense of it's a code of honor in a way. People who are very moral are very good people in their heart, regardless of what the rules say. And people who are immoral obviously tend to be horrible people. And depending on where you are in the whole grand scheme of ethics and morality can really change what kind of person you are. And that's why using this can help you not only come up with great characters, but can also help you understand what kind of person, what a person's style and behavior is in terms of what kind of rules or laws they'll create if they were, like, say, in charge or something, like the government. Obviously, certain types of people are better to create a proper and functioning government, and some people are just really not. So we're going to go over this. I will not explicitly tell you which ones work for a good government or not. I'm pretty sure as I explain it to you, you'll be able to figure it out on your own. There are examples also put into the assignment to help you understand. And I will be using characters that you guys might or might not be familiar with, and in order to help it understand you. And this will not only help those of you who are writers, it also helps those of you who are thinking about what kind of person would basically create what kind of rules and laws. Pretty self-explanatory there, but I feel the need to say it twice. Anyways, let's start with the top to the bottom. The categories for ethics are lawful, neutral, and chaotic. Lawful obviously mean you are very ethically good. You have strong ethics and you follow the rules and the laws very well. Lawful, it's pretty easy. Neutral, here meaning you're kind of in the middle. You can be lawful, you can be unlawful, because it changes by need. Remember, rules and laws don't necessarily mean it's good in terms of morals. And then there's chaotic, which means you are completely unlawful. You might follow certain rules or laws, but as soon as they get in the way of something, as soon as they get in the way of your ideas, you stop following them altogether. And then we have morality, which the categories are good, neutral, and evil. Good obviously means you're a good guy. You have high morals. You're a good person in your heart. Neutral, meaning you're not really a good or bad person. You're kind of in the middle. And evil, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. Here's the thing. Very few people in the world are actually legitimately evil. The definition of evil is when someone puts their own needs so far beyond others' needs that they end up hurting other people. And they don't feel bad about it at all. So if you got a person like that, and that person is legitimately evil, very few people in the world are like that. Most people are just not smart enough to see the other side, or sometimes in movies that deal with, in the stories that deal with animals, the evil character will often be a predator, but it's because they're hungry. And from the wrong end of the fork, hungry looks a lot like evil. I mean, think of it this way. Do you really think your sandwich loves you? No. If a sandwich is alive, it would think you are trying to eat it. It would think you are evil. But it's not. So go ahead and eat that sandwich. You're fine. Eat the sandwich. Eat the sandwich! Okay. So, now that we've got this grid, ethics going above, and morality going up and down, we can start categorizing it into the 9 different segments. First, we have lawful good. The key word for lawful good is honor. These people do the right thing when it comes to both ethics and morals. These people do the right thing no matter what. These are your soldiers, your warriors that protect people. These are your firefighters and police officers. These are the doctors. They follow the rules because they know it helps people, and they follow the morals because it's what their good heart guides them to. It's a pretty extreme stance, but a lot of people do follow into that category. It's not as much as the others. But if you meet a person who is ethically very good and morally very good, keep them around. They're very nice. Like I said, their keyword is honor. Next up is neutral good. Neutral good, the keyword is safety. It's all about keeping people safe. Their ethics are in the middle, which means they can shift when it comes to following the rules or not, but their morals are phenomenal. Now, the thing with the ethics is, take this as an example. A young doctor has to basically do a procedure that's it's a regular procedure. In the normal circumstances, they would do this procedure. And his boss is being like, okay, you have to do that procedure. This is what's going to do it. But you can tell that the boss is only doing this procedure because it's what's written in the books. He's going by the book. But the doctor realizes if he does this procedure, there's a very good chance that this person could die because of some kind of allergy or complication. Well, he could decide, no, we're going to do this other thing. We're still going to save this life. I'm going to not do what my boss is saying. I'm going to do this other thing. I'm going to save this person's life. That person is very morally good, but you notice he didn't follow the rules. The ethics were iffy. The morals were great. But he protected the patient. Safety. This is your characters like 4. Lawful good is more like your Captain America type characters. Neutral good is more like Thor. Thor is the guy who usually tries to help people, usually tries to follow the rules, but if they work against if the rules work against the good for the people, he's not gonna really follow them. And the next one is chaotic good, which is a lot of people's favorite, mine included, because it comes out to like the most fun characters. These are characters who are ethically horrible people. They're not great when it comes to following the rules. They kind of make their own rules, but morally they are great people. They always do what's required to protect people, no matter what happens. But they might not follow the rules. Their keyword is freedom. This is your Tony Stark characters. This is the guy that would violate the airspace of a different country to save people. He says, "To heck with the rules. I'm going to save people." Kind of does his own thing. This is why they're fun. They're the rebels. They're the people who kind of get in the way of authority. They don't exactly toe the line, but they're good people. They save people. Their behavior usually ends up yielding a positive because their main focus is to make sure that people are happy. They believe that people should be free to behave how they want as long as their behavior doesn't hurt people. That is chaotic good. All chaotic means is that the person that doesn't follow order, doesn't follow rules. Lawful is the opposite, which means it always follows the rules, always follow the orders. This is why Cap and Stark were always so butting heads so much. It's just how they worked. It was a big difference. And after chaotic good, we jump down to the second line. We have lawful neutral, which is all about just the law. They're ethically great. Morally, not so much. Remember in the neutral good, I mentioned that boss that we had, who was like, we do this by the book. He was lawful neutral. His ethics were great. He went by the book. Morals suffered a little bit because he was so hard and fast about going by the book. His behavior could have ended up getting the patient hurt or worse, killed. He needs a reality check in morals because he might follow the book, but he is not doing a good job of taking care of the people. That's lawful neutral. They follow the law, no matter what it takes and no matter who gets hurt. Now, splat in the middle of both those areas is neutral, also known as true neutral. This is all about balance. They are ethically in the middle, morally in the middle. They do whatever is required at the moment. The issue with this is if you don't write this character properly, you end up with a very boring character. They're weirdly unpredictable because you don't know which way they're gonna go. But at the same time, they're kind of just whatever. You have to be really careful. Oh, I forgot the example for lawful neutral. The example for lawful neutral is the Vision. He is very much by the law. He tries to do the right thing, but he knows that there's a certain order and rules you have to follow, and that's what he usually tries to reason out. He grows as a person, but he is very much lawful neutral. True neutral would be characters like Black Widow and Hawkeye. Yes, I'm mostly using Marvel Cinematic Universe characters because, let's face it, we talk about it a lot. It's where we need to go. If you guys want to explore other stories and stuff, there is a place for you guys to do that. The assignment includes a chart that you guys can fill in with your own characters. So next up we have chaotic neutral. Chaotic neutral is all about pleasure. They want to do what they want to do. They want to have fun. They kind of just want to do their own thing. Ethically, because they're chaotic, they're not that great. Morally, they're kind of in the middle. They might help you out, but as soon as it becomes too much trouble, they're not going to be that reliable. Chaotic neutral characters are like the Incredible Hulk. I know some people put Bruce Banner in there too, but I think Bruce Banner is more neutral good. And whereas the Hulk is very much chaotic neutral. Because he's all about doing what feels right. No matter what, he doesn't care if, if it's against the rules. He doesn't care if buildings are destroyed. I mean, he'll help out when he gets a chance to smash. But as soon as it becomes too much trouble, he's gonna bail. Now, bottom row. First up, lawful evil. Lawful evil is all about control. This is your evil emperors, your evil CEOs, your evil government officials, even your evil teachers and principals. You got all those in stories. This is the person who's in charge because they use the law to gain control. But they're morally terrible because all of their lawmaking and all of their behavior is hurting people. This is a very good character to go against chaotic good, because on one hand you have this guy who controls everything and he's evil. On the other hand, you have this guy who's like, I don't care about the rules, but I'm gonna help people. Boom! Completely different ideologies. They're complete polar opposites. It's what makes them so much fun to shove against each other and see what kind of craziness happens. This is characters like Iron Man's first villain, Obadiah Stane, aka Ironmonger. Basically anyone who's in charge and is not the nicest guy can be put down as lawful evil. Because they use the rules to their advantage, they're not nice. And then we have neutral evil. Neutral evil is all about the self. This person is ethically in the middle. They'll follow the rules depending on what needs, but they're morally terrible. This person kind of creates their own rules, but they kind of end up hurting people all the time. This is like Ultron. Ultron has his own ideology, his own thought process, own set of rules he feels like he should follow, and obviously he's going to end up hurting people. He's not necessarily concerned by the rules of the world or being so against the rules. He's kind of like, it's my rules. It's all about the self. And lastly, we have chaotic evil. Chaotic evil is also a fun one to pin up against chaotic good, because chaotic evil basically is the villain who doesn't care about anything or anyone, they just want to wreck stuff. Boom. This is like Loki, who enjoys messing with things, enjoys blowing up stuff. He wants to be king, but he's really not fit for it, because all of his rules and laws will all serve a very bad purpose. He's ethically horrible, morally horrible. This is about as bad and crazy as you can get. These are the crazy villains. So, hopefully you guys get a good look at this, and you get to look at the alignment chart, do your questions, have fun looking at characters that you might like, see what they fit, and it might even be a good idea to see where you fit. I know you guys are young and you're still thinking, like, where do I fit in the world? But it's a good a time as any. Also, if you do try to put living people into these categories, you might not want to go ahead and tell them if you feel like they fit into the evil area. They might not like it. Just a warning. So, anyways, with that, that's pretty much my lecture. Some of you got this lecture during our Google Meets. Here you have it again, this time with the privilege of a rewind and pause button. And with that, I think I'm done. Soon we'll be talking a little bit more about the government, but this was just to give you an idea of sometimes how people think in different categories and what kind of rules and laws they might end up making. So next time you see what kind of rules and laws are coming out, think about what kind of person would have made those laws and see if they're good or not. It's a good idea to analyze laws as they're coming out. Maybe get involved in the election process with your parents when they're voting. So with that, this is me signing off. I love you 3000.